In this section, we will start with the Big Data Analytics Lab experiments. And so the first experiment will be implement the stack data structure in Java. So in this section, we will come to know about the basic operations that can be performed on stack. Along with this, we can see the various applications of a stack. Uh, so, uh, so So see the next slide. Stack is a linear data structure which follows a particular order in which the operations are performed. The order may be last in, first out, or first in, last out. There are mainly following three basic operations are performed in the stack. Number one, push operations. With the help of the push operations, we can add an item in the stack, and if the stack is full, then it is said to be an overflow condition. Next operation is a pop operation. With the help of this operations, we can remove an item from the stack. The items are popped in the reverse order in which they are pushed. If the stack is empty, then it is said to be an underflow condition. I have also used some more function in the code like peek to find out on the top element of the stack, and isEmpty function, it will return true if stack is empty, and it will return false if stack having the some elements. This basic diagram shows the basic stack operations that for push and pop operation we start from the top. So whenever we want to push an element, it will be pushed on the top of the stack, and if we want to pop an element from the stack, it will be popped out from the top position only. So this diagram shows that whenever we insert an element, it will always insert it on the top of the stack, and whenever we need to popped out an element from the stack, it will always be popped up from the top. Now we will see the basic applications of a stack, like balancing of symbols in fix to postfix or prefix conversion. Other than this we can also do redo undo features at many places like editors, Photoshop, etc. Forward and backward features in web browsers we can use in many algorithms like Tower of Hanoi, tree traversal, stock span problem, histogram problem, etc. We can also use stack in backtracking, and some of the examples of backtracking are knight tour problem and queen problem. To find your way through maze and games like chess or checkers, in all these problems we dive into some way. If that way is not efficient, we come back to the previous state and go into some another path. To get back from current state, we need to store the previous state. For that purpose, we need stack. Stack can also be used in graph algorithms like topological sorting and strongly connected components. Stack can also be used in memory management. So in modern computer, uh, where stack is used as a primary management for a running purpose, each program that is running in a computer system has its own memory allocations. String reversal is also another application of stack. Here one by one each character get inserted into the stack. So the first character of a string is on the bottom of the stack, and the last element of a string is on the top of the stack. After performing the pop operations on stack, we get a string in reverse order. So these are the basic main applications of stack. Now we will discuss the program, uh, that how we can implement basic stack operations in Java. So for that I have created a class stack, and inside the stack class I have created a max variable, and it is static, and its value is 1000. To store the value of the top element, I have also created a top variable, and we also uh, require an array. Uh, so for that, I have created an array. Next, I'm going to define isEmpty function. Basically, isEmpty function will return true or false if a stack is empty. It will return false, and if a stack is having some element, it will return true. Now I have created an constructor to initialize the top variable. So here I have initialized top with -1. So that indicates that stack is empty. So whenever the value of top will be -1, it will indicate that stack has no element. Now we will define the function push. So inside the push function we have to write the condition that if top if top is greater than equal to max -1, we will print stack overflow, else it will return false. In the else part, if the stack is having element to insert, the top position will be incremented and the new item will be inserted at the uh, newly position of top. And with the help of system.out.println, uh, we can show that which element has been pushed into the stack. Now we define the pop function. So for that I have created pop function, and inside the pop function I have to apply the condition like if top is less than 0, then it will show the message stack underflow and a return, else the top element will be deleted from the stack and it will be copied into the variable x, and it will return the element that has been popped out from the stack. Now the next function is peek function. Peek function will return the top position of the stack, status of top position. So if top is less than 0, we can simply print the message stack underflow and return, else the top of the stack will be uh, copied into the x, and it will uh, return the value of x, so we can get the top position of the stack. Now we will create the main function. So inside the main function we need to create an object. So with the help of that object we can call the function that we have created, like push pop function. So to create an object, here we have created an object s, stack s equal to new stack. So s is our object, and with the help of s dot function name we can call the function that we have already declared and defined. So s dot push uh, 10. So new element 10 will be pushed into the stack. In the next line we have also called push function, and this time the element is 20. So the 20 will be inserted into the stack. Again we are calling s dot push, element is 30, so again 30 will be pushed into the top of the stack. Now we have used system.out.println s.pop. So pop function will be called, and the top element present in the stack will be popped out. from the stack. So in this way we have implemented the basic function of stack push pop operation. With this with the help of this code we can get this output. Firstly, the 10 will be pushed into the stack. Again 20 will be pushed into the stack. Next 30 will be pushed into the stack, and finally we have called a pop function. So pop function will be executed, and top of the stack is 30. So 30 we will get the message 30 popped from the stack. So we have seen how to implement the stack operation in Java. In the next lab video, we will see another lab experiments. Thank you.